Okay, welcome back. Um, so it's been another week where played some more Minecraft, and I'm ready to show off some more changes. Um, so let's go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, not a lot has actually changed here inside of the base from last week. I will show off that one area, but first we did actually acquire a new horse companion. So we'll grab him, and then we'll actually begin our journey, because we actually got a long way to go. So, first thing that we did, well, this is actually the last thing that I just finished accomplish. The city here by the port here, they actually were able to complete their nether portal, which is based off of the drowned nether portal here out in the middle of the water. And so they were actually able to complete that and build that. So now here comes the really long part where we go on a very, very long journey. Super excited to show this stuff off. That took a very long time to do. One thing that I actually probably should do, don't actually have a fence post on me. I should probably go grab a fence post just so I can tie up the horse while we're actually going and looking at stuff. So let's go ahead and what we'll do is we'll put our horse back up here by the stables for now. That'll work for now. Let's just go see if we have a fence post real quick that we can borrow from ourselves. One of our junk bins, and we do. This will work perfectly. And this is just going to basically help us to where our horse isn't going to run off, which would be, sort of a problem if that happened. So the horse's name is Varian, named after the king of Stormwind from World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft for a very long time. I just recently stopped playing, and Minecraft has sort of taken its spot. Have to play a game that ends on craft. It's actually required. And I still really loved I loved what the lore was. The last expansion really wasn't jiving with me, so I kind of just moved on. At least for now. I hope that it can become what it was one day again, but I'm not really going to count on that. So, as you can see, built this long path, and it goes for a long while. It actually went so long that I had to build a base in the middle. And I'm actually really excited to show off that base. It was kind of copied off, well, not exactly copied one for one, but it was inspired by a base that I found in a YouTube video, and I sort of remixed it because there was pieces of it that I didn't like. Actually, hit the spacebar there. But we'll go ahead and see what we've got. This is something that I still want to fix up, this bridge right here. I'm not really sure how to tie it in, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, here we go. This is the base that's sort of not quite halfway. I would say it's about a third of the way to where we're going. Yeah, it's a pretty neat little base. There's lots of really cool things, lots of really cool building techniques that I learned from this base. So, starting with, I tried to make it a self-sustaining base where it could stand on its own 2 feet without any support. So one of the first things I did was actually plant all these potatoes. They're mostly fully grown at this point. It has a nice little watchtower built inside of it with a bed. You come up here on the watchtower. One of the cooler pieces of the build, and I've never really seen this done before in this way, is these are actually campfires that are put out, and they end up creating this like really nice like rustic wood looking roof, which I thought was pretty neat. These are actually barrels that are used for this wall. It sort of looks like a bigger giant door, and we can actually replace this at some point with a solid oak door. I haven't actually, oh sorry, dark oak I think it is. I haven't actually seen any dark oak. Yep, but it's a nice little base. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it has a really nice look to it. Let's... Didn't know Axis did that too. But let's go ahead and grab our fence posts, take off with our horse, and then we keep going. So after I got this horse, really the purpose of this long, long path is I discovered a village just by riding around on the horse. Um, and I had to like do a lot of like jumping over the mountains, and I had to do a ton of like, just kind of like getting through some really hard terrain on a horse in order to find the village. And so this path is trying to overcome that as much as we possibly can. We want to make it as easy a ride out and back, something that you can do on foot, which is one of the reasons that I also built the base. I actually, as I was making this path, which as you can see is very long, I would run out of time, and I was, it would take a really long time to get all the way out here to where this path is at. And you can see, this path is very, very long. But we can ride through this tunnel here. So I tunneled through this mountain instead of, going over it, just because the mountain was so steep. And you'll see that I actually do that again coming up here. I kind of tried to make the path a little windy, based off of the easiest path to flow with the terrain. Just so it seemed like, kind of like it would be if you're building a road, you wanted to kind of flow with the terrain. And so that's sort of what the path does. Right here. It is a little windy through here. There are lots of holes. You have to be very careful, especially when riding a horse, so you don't run your horse off the edge. I will probably put up some rails, just some safety rails, so that way I don't actually kill my horse here. And here is the village. I still haven't completed quite this path yet, but it's actually quite a large village. Lots of little buildings. I've noticed it's got a library and all sorts of really neat stuff in here. It's a multi-tiered sort of village. The surrounding area has lots of holes in it and stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting little terrain. I think that's actually a church. As we can see here, the villagers do have a single iron golem that protects them. It's a very large village, though. There are lots of cats actually down here. I did discover those. Actually, I don't know where the cats are. There were lots of cats down here. Looks like they're kind of moved around. But it was pretty neat. Neat little discovery this village was. Hello, iron golem. There's another cat. Nice little white cat. And so this is what I've been working on this week. It was most of the time was actually spent digging out these long paths and these long tunnels, trying to get out here. Looks like I can jump through the ceiling there if I'm not too careful with my spacebar button. And it actually caused me to take a little bit of suffocation damage, if you were wondering what that noise was. I did not know that up until when I just jumped through the ceiling. But yeah, on foot, in between the entire village, it would take you basically an entire day cycle. As you can see, the sun is going down, so we're going to kind of try and hoof it back. We'll probably try and hoof it all the way back to the main base. But it takes an entire day on foot, the entire daylight time of the day on foot, and on horseback it takes about half a day to travel between the two. Really, the village and the portside research facility where they're researching that nether portal. So one of the things I'll probably be working on next week is actually lighting the nether portal. Probably before I do that, I'm probably gonna gather a bunch of deep slate material, and I think I will start construction of a nether hub, which I've never done before, so I'll probably have to look up some nether hub designs and some ideas to get some inspiration. But just I'll probably build the beginnings of that in deep slate, which I think will be a good time. Oh look, a white horse. Actually, I think that's the white horse before. I would like more horses. It's one thing I probably will do. I'll probably also build a stable here at some point, just to keep horses as you're traveling safe. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat with the little forward base that we built. It looks like it's about to become night, which getting through this piece is probably the most dangerous. I'm hoping that my horse doesn't get hit by any arrows or anything, but we're gonna chance it on the way back home. Why not live a little dangerously? Probably should have stopped off at the halfway point, but it's okay. We're gonna try and get all the way back. If I hadn't had to turn around for the fence post, we'd probably easily be back in time. But I screwed up and didn't think about stabling the horse and showing off that middle base beforehand. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It looks like we're doing okay. We're just gonna have a little jaunt in the dark here. Ah, it's actually the sun's still up. Oh, there we go. Some zombies, some creepers, some zombies. Let's see if we can get back inside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run all the way down to the stable. I don't think they'll follow me that far, right? Surely not. No, they didn't even follow me inside. So we made it back, safe for the night. Go ahead and sleep. But that's pretty much it. That's what I worked on this week. Go ahead and sleep for the night. So yeah, like I said, this is probably going to be one of the next projects we work on. This is deep slate cobblestone, which is what constructs the portal. I really like the look of it. It's a much darker look than the normal cobblestone. It'll be exciting to actually travel through the nether portal for the first time. I really like this frame. I like what I did with this portal. Sort of like the first decorated nether portal that I've ever made. All the other nether portals that I've built have been pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's it. Have a good one.